always seriously think of changing that opening number to a closing number. It's like a talk afterwards. But that number there is a piece called the Dance of the Painted Warrior. It's actually a song that I wrote for my younger brother. His Rikra name is Only Hawk. He gets painted up and he takes dancing and hoop dancing very, very serious when he goes out there. I always tell him to smile and you're having a good time, but he's always very serious and very stoic when he dances, and the same when he puts his war paint on. So I composed the song with the help of Mr. Darren Yazzie, and actually it all started off with the percussion. That drum actually started the whole song, and then everything kind of fell into place. And that song there was called The Painted Warrior. And my little brother gets painted out and we play that song for him to dance to. But it's a fun piece to do. My father's San Carlos Apache. He does mostly lectures at different universities on the Apache language, linguistics, and also Apache culture. But he passed down those two different items to me, the flutes and the hoops, and I've taken them since I was about 5 years old, and now it's what I do, traveling. We just came back from Italy. We're over in Italy for about 2 weeks, sharing some of our music, dancing around there, and tonight I'm flying to Niagara Falls. I'll be there for a couple weeks there. So it's what I enjoy doing, sharing some of our music and dancing. I'd like to share a song with you right now here. This is a song that's known as a two-step. You usually sing it on a hand drum or a huge powwow type of drum, and it's a social dance that you do up north. My mother's from North Dakota. My father's San Carlos Apache, full-blood Apache, but my mother's from North Dakota, represents the Arikara, Hidatsa, Mandan nations, 3 affiliated nations from White Shield, North Dakota. And so the 2 different style of flutes I play, as well as the northern flute that I just played there, but I also play an Apache river cane flute, and so I'll be sharing some of that as well. But this song here is a song that comes from up northern area, where they would have the couples dancing together, beautiful regalia, a dance that hopefully fills your heart with that good feeling of harmony, dancing together upon Mother Earth. This is the song, if you can visualize 2 dancers dancing hand in hand. And whenever we go to powwows, my wife always drags me out to the 2-step dances, or the rabbit dance, or owl dance, and she really enjoys those types of dancing, and I enjoy them too as well. But she really, really likes to go out to those social gatherings that we do up north. She's from Cahuan, Alberta, Canada, represent Plains Cree Nation, and so they do a lot of round dancing up north too. So I hope you enjoy this song here, a song called Together We Dance, type of a 2-step song. One thing I really always like to talk about David is he's not only a traditional singer and dancer, he travels with us all over. He does my singing when I do my hoop dancing. He's also a very talented artist. And so everything you see, from his moccasins to the shield, to the headdress that he wears, to his bustles, everything is all done by hand. He does all of his beadwork and does all of his feather work as well. And so he's going to be coming out here and sharing that type of a dance that kind of goes along with the origin of the song. A song I'd like to share to honor all of the daughters, honor all of the daughters that are here today. I have two daughters of my own, my daughter Manaya, my daughter Nitanis, and my daughters and my son. They're actually over they were over in Alberta, but now they're over in Ottawa. They traveled across for the it's National Aboriginal Day, and they're doing a lot of dancing up there. My wife's family, they have a family dance group as well, and so in the summertime, of course, the best plan that we have is summertime is when I start my touring, and so I start touring with my crew, heading over to, as I mentioned, we're over in Italy, here in Minneapolis, and going to Niagara Falls and heading to Germany in a little bit. And it's too hot in Phoenix, summertime, of course. So my wife heads back up north, and she hits all the powwows and is with all of her relatives up north. And my father told me many stories growing up, so many stories, very grateful. Back then, I just remember them always, they were just stories that I could always kind of keep us entertained. But then as I got older, you start to know the meaning of those stories, the purpose of the stories. And one of the main characters in a lot of the stories, his name is Matsonse. Matsonse is the coyote. He's the trickster. He's the one that you always learn from. You do you learn what not to do by watching Matsonse. And he's the coyote. And a lot of the stories pertain to the younger ones. They would listen, and Matsonse was very funny. He was a very funny trickster. And so one of the stories that my father would tell me was that Matsonse, he was one of the best dancers. And so he was one of the ones that could move the best. And they say when the full moon came out, when Grandmother Moon came out, and she was nice and full and really nice and bright and spreading all the wisdom, the light of wisdom all across Mother Earth, that they say that Matsonse, he would go from village to village. And he would go from village to village, and he would show off his moves. And then they would feed him. And then he would go to the next village, and they would feed him. Go to the next village, and they would feed him until he had a really nice little round tummy. And so they say that Matsonse, the trickster, wherever you would see a crowd of people, that's where you would find him on the full moon. On the little get-togethers, the social dances at the different villages. The dog people village, and you would go and you would see the bird people have their village. You would see all of the different four-legged people, the animals, they'd have their doings, they would have their social dances. And so of course I wanted to compose a song for him. And in my mind, this is kind of the song that he would walk around to and he would dance to. Next one's a song that we played to honor another flute player. He's actually one that I look up to, R. Carlos Nakai. I'm not sure if you know flute music, you know him. He has beautiful, beautiful music, and his first album actually came out, it's called Changes. His first album came out the year I was born. And so I grew up listening to all of his music, and I learned a lot of his music, and I ended up signing with Canyon Records, his record label, and able to go on tour with Carlos Nakai a couple years back. And actually we're with Joanne as well. And it was really, really huge impact traveling with such remarkable musicians. Joanne Shenandoah, she'll be on here a little bit here, and then our Carlos Nakai, really huge energy that they have on stage, and a really big influence on all native musicians as well as any musicians, And so I grew up listening to his music, and on our next album, we're releasing a song. This is a song like Cherith right now, a song called Nakai. And if you listen to his music, you'll probably notice some of two of his songs that we kind of morphed into our style of music. last song is actually a song I'd like to dedicate once again. Today is my son's birthday. He has 5 hoops, but he only uses 3 because today he is 3 years old. His name is Naichi, and I'm gonna play this song for him here. As I mentioned yesterday, I'm not sure how many of you were here yesterday, but I wanted to save this song for today, but I played it yesterday too. But this song here, I wanted to have my son, his name was gonna be Tony Jr. For the first 8 months of the pregnancy was Tony Jr. And then the last month I changed my mind, and I told my father, I wanted him to have his own name. I wanted him to have a very strong name, and so I left it up to my father to do the naming. And so I let my father choose a name for him. And my father has very good friends over in Mescalero, and distant relatives of us in Apache Way. My father named him after the son of Cochise, named him after Chief Naichi. And so when Geronimo surrendered 1886 under Chief Naichi. And so my father named him a very strong name, a very tough name as well, Chief Naichi. And so this is a song that I composed here for my boy, and hope you enjoy the song here. And he's way over in Ottawa right now with his mom and my wife and my 2 daughters. And so hopefully, he can feel this song here, a song called Naichi. Down to his son, then his son, and then all the way down, or his daughter. There's a lot of, it's either male or female, the fathers and sons that share this style of dance known as the hoop dance. And the hoop dance is something that has been I've been very fortunate to learn how to do. And the story behind hoop dancing, coming from the Taos Pueblo people from New Mexico, many different stories of hoop dancing, but a lot of hoop dancers, you ask them, and a lot of them will tell you that they've always known it to be from the Taos Pueblo people from New Mexico. But it represents so much to so many different people, because that symbol of the hoop in Apache way, so the way I was always told, Apache way, that circle, or the Apache would say bon-sen, that means spinning or changing. We believe that all of life is in constant motion, and we're always learning from our elders, we're always learning from our parents, learning from our relatives, learning from our friends, always gaining knowledge, in whether it's even good or bad. As growing up as a young child and adolescence and growing, you're learning so much at that time. And so they say that all of life is in constant motion, and that we dance in this way to honor all of those points of life, to honor children, to honor all of adolescence, to honor adulthood, honor our elders. And so in Apache way, we begin to the east. East represents springtime. That represents the beginning of our season. It represents the New Year's. So kind of what I was always told too, is kind of funny how we celebrate our New Year's. We say Happy New Year's, when it's really cold out, and you can see your breath. You see the people on TV, New York City, and they're really cold, saying Happy New Year's. But we say our Happy New Year's in the springtime, when all of life is celebrating life, when all the small little flowers are starting to open up, when the little animals are being born, and springtime is the real beginning of the year. And so the eastern direction represents that time. Springtime also represents the children, and the southern direction represents adulthood, represents adolescence, also representing the time of the summertime. And then the west represents adulthood, and north represents our elders, those that have passed down our traditional ways to the next generation. And so that hoop contains so much knowledge, that symbol of the hoop representing the seasons, it's representing all of life and all the life forms. And so Apache way, we say Gojuro, that's, you know, in a beautiful way. I'll be dancing for you here, and I hope you enjoy some of the dancing, and I hope you can see some of the different designs. Sometimes when I dance, the children, they get really into it, and they will say, you know, it's an eagle, it's this and that. One time this little kid said, "I seen you make a sloth." And I was like, oh, maybe, you know. And so it all depends on how you see it, you know, in your mind as well. But I'll try to make designs that look like different items that you might see. Just, you know, some of them, to me, they represent different things as well. Like I started to do a snake, but then I went over to Florida, Miccosukee people, and we got to see a lot of their stories of the gators that they had there. And then so I started to bring the down lower. Just bringing it down a little bit lower gave a different feel to it, and so that's the one that I make as well. And then the cowboy, my brother-in-law up in Alberta, he breaks horses, and so I get to go with him, and I was the anchor guy and holding down, and he would just let go, and he would just go for broke, you know. And after that, I started to do the horse that I make. I made it a little bit wilder, the horse. And so everything that you do, you see different hoop dancers, it kind of shows their journey through life as well. So each dancer is different. And so I hope you enjoy this style of hoop dancing. This dance here, once again, passed down from generation to generation. This dance passed from my father, passed to me, and passed to my son, Naichi. And so today I'm going to be dancing with the best feeling right now for my boy Naichi on his birthday, and hopefully he can feel this good feeling. 3 years old, and my wife texted me earlier and said that he's getting ready to hoop dance, so it'd be kind of cool if we're dancing at the same time. So go out to my boy again, Naichi. Hoop dance, circle of life, how everything stays in that circle, how everything is passed down from grandfather to son to grandson, keeping that circle strong. Hoop dance. Thank you very much. Once again, my name is Tony Duncan, Darren Yazzie, David Brush, and Jeremy Dancing Bull, and we'll be just in the back there.